Board members, I attached the chairman's report. I'll summarize. It lists the meetings that I've had since we had the last board meeting, and the district staff that I've met with over the last several weeks. So as all of you probably know, I was interviewed on Channel 12, Channel 25, Channel 5, and with the Sun Sentinel yesterday. My message to them was to make sure that they understood that this was not a Palm Beach County School Board versus charter schools. This is not the message that we wanted to convey to Tallahassee. The message that we convey to Tallahassee is that there was a vote and it needs to be upheld. So I advised them, I reminded them that 20 districts out of the 67 school districts in Florida had a referendum. In 20 districts, the voters approved the referendums to give higher, they voluntarily agreed to raise their taxes to provide funds to public schools. That was done not because school districts waste money, that we don't spend it prudently. It's because for the last 20 years, the state of Florida has underfunded public education. We are 44th in the United States in per pupil funding. So I wanted to get that point across to them, and I also reminded them that our referendum language was perfectly clear. It said that we were raising the money for non-charter district schools, and the other part of that referendum said that there would be an oversight committee. And I reminded them that, first of all, that we were the only one of the 20 school districts that had non-charter district schools that clearly stated in our referendum, and that also that we can't possibly have our oversight committee review the money if we had to turn it over to the charter schools, because the school board doesn't have authority to oversee the way the charter schools are spending the money. So there would be no way for our oversight committee to be involved with that. So today, the Senate got to Senate Bill 1412, but they postponed it. And 1412 corresponds with 7123. We were hoping that would be decided today so we would know what the Senate was going to do with the House bill. Unfortunately, it was postponed. And in light of those uncertainties, I met with the General Counsel, who has been monitoring the ongoing legislation in order to assess and evaluate any negative impact on the board. And so I want to assure you that in the event that legislation is signed into law which negatively impacts the board, I will be bringing a board item at the June 5th special meeting for the board to consider board action authorizing the General Counsel to initiate such legal action, whether injunctive, declaratory, or other relief, as the General Counsel believes necessary to ensure the will of the voters in the November referendum is upheld and the traditional Palm Beach County schools receive the funds that over 380,000 voters in Palm Beach County have generously agreed to provide to the traditional public schools to fund school safety equipment, hire additional school police and mental health professionals, fund arts, music, physical education, career and choice programs, teachers, and improve teacher pay. In closing, I'd like to share my opinion with you with respect to House Bill 7123. As a lawyer, I find the attempt by the Florida House to invalidate the lawful referendum held in this county by passing this bill is not only outrageous, but violates the founding principles underpinning both the Florida Constitution and the Constitution of the United States of America. In these United States, for over 200 years, the will of the people has been the governing force, not a dictatorial government which ignores them. This doesn't happen, can't happen in the United States of America. This kind of nefarious activity exists in those other countries around the world governed by dictators who have no rule of law other than their own. I only hope that sensible heads will prevail in our state Senate and the senators remember that government serves at the will of the people. It is not their master, but their servant. So we'll do what we have to do next month to make sure that the will of the people is upheld. So one closing comment. That was my closing comment. But I've been on the board for 11 years, and I want to tell you that we have come a long way with our teachers. This board has always supported our teachers, but the way we are working together, I mean, it is amazing that you were here rallying outside and you weren't screaming at us for a change. So I mean, I was just. So thank you for that. You know you have our support. All 7 of us will absolutely support you to make sure that the money that was promised to you will get to you, and we'll do whatever we can in the court system to make sure that happens.